Okay. Hello. I am here today with Jeannette Stock. I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. She is just such a breath of fresh air. And I have to tell everybody, Jeannette, that you are crushing it this year. You already have, hold on, I wrote this down, $18,269 in sales in 2022. And it's only the first week of March. So much to be proud of, a lot happening in your world. And I can't wait for everyone to hear your story because you're just an inspiration. So, let's dive in. Let's kind of hear about Jeannette. So tell me a little bit about your Park Lane journey. Like, when did you start? How, why did you join? Tell me about your family. Just tell me about you.
Yeah. So I am a mom. I have two young children. I have a 4-year-old boy. My son is autistic, so special needs. And I have a 2-year-old daughter who is complete opposite of him. So she talks all the time. But I am married. So I've been married to my husband for 7 years and we've been together for 14. Um, Crazy during pandemic world, I said, you know what, I need something else for myself because there was just a lot going on during pandemic time. I actually used to sell Park Lane back in 2010 for 4 years. And then I took my corporate job and just engulfed myself in that. So since pandemic hit, I said, you know what, I need to do something for myself. I need to find friends living in this virtual world. And I decided to jump back into Park Lane. I looked at a lot of other companies, but the commissions here was just something that really drove me back. And the jewelry is what drove me back because I had pieces from 2010 that were in excellent condition and quality still, which just is a testament to the company. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to jump back in and just get some free jewelry. That was my big thing. Just want free stuff.
I think you've way surpassed that. But you do still work full time as well.
Yes. Yep. I still do work 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week as a corporate trainer. So very demanding because I'm a national trainer.
So let's just recap that. She works a full time job, very demanding, and she has two small children.
Mhm.
And she's still working Park Lane. So I love that you paint a beautiful picture of how it can be done. So how do you fit all that in? What does your day look
um,
like?
yeah. So organization, definitely. And I've taken a lot of things back from the team. There's just been so much training, not just around the product, but around how we can have a balance of family and work life. And one of the things that's really great about Park Lane is that I can schedule the shows when it's convenient for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I do shows every Wednesday. My family knows that's the time kids go to bed early. That's when we eat dinner early. And by 8:30, like mom's getting ready, she's going into her room and it's showtime, 9 o'clock every Wednesday. And just organizing that out. And I have a calendar that has everything on there. I have it highlighted for when all of my parties are, when I do my first touch points to when I do my second, third, and fourth, and follow ups too. So everything's just laid out for me. I know looking at my calendar on a daily basis what I should be doing. And I've learned that from all the leaders, honestly.
And
Little small
having
thing.
them all your parties on the same night, it probably helps you stay in a flow, right?
Yeah.
So like what days you do what. So that really helps. But you can still do multiple parties
Oh, yeah.
on the same night, right? So you're the queen of having not just because party Wednesday's your only party night, you have multiple hostesses on
Hmm.
Wednesdays. I know this about you. Um, so I think that's very, very cool. And just it's kind of unlimited potential there.
Yeah.
But I love that you work it. And it's funny, I know you said 9 p.m. is when you do your lives.
Hmm.
You're on the East Coast time.
Yes.
And so probably your people are all over, right?
Yeah, I actually have had a party in California, Colorado,
Yeah.
and Texas most
So
recently.
it's 9 o'clock for you, but it's earlier for other people. I'm in Central time zone, and I'm worthless after. You also know this about me. I'm not very good after 9 p.m. Like I am not great. So I think that's the beauty of it, is that I always schedule my parties at 7 p.m. Central, because that's when I like to do it. And it just goes to show you can do what works for you. Jeanette's a night owl, and she lives in Florida. So she has to be somewhat late and flexible, because a lot of her shows happen. And that's another thing, is I wanted to make sure people realize this. That's so cool about you. You moved from Pennsylvania to Florida in the middle of last year.
Yes.
And you didn't know anyone in Florida.
Mm-hmm. I still don't know anyone in Florida.
but that's what's so interesting too, is that it didn't impact in fact, your business exploded after you moved. But because it's virtual, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have customers in, I would say, probably 20 states at least.
Yeah. So tell me about your biggest earnings month, and why you do Park Lane. Let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the money, honey.
Yeah. So my biggest earning month was actually February of this year.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. I really set a goal for myself after listening to just other leaders saying that they are hitting, 10,000, 15,000 in sales. I said, okay, I'm going to do 5,000 each month. That's going to be my goal for myself.
Okay.
And I went out there, and the only way that I could get 5,000 is I have to have shows and things going on. So I went and filled up my February in December. Like December and January, I was just loading my Wednesdays up, realized it's still the first week of January, and people still wanted to have parties. So I actually had to open up Thursday nights as well in February. In February. And I booked Wednesday and Thursday, 2 to 3 shows each night. And I did a little over 11,000 in sales last month, my biggest month ever. And I was just like surprised that like I even did that much myself, because I only set out to do 5,000, and it just showed. And let's be honest, I had 2 shows that were a bust, just not really great. So I'm not saying that everything was awesome. I had 2 shows that just were not great. One show I didn't even complete and process. So it happens, right? You're not going to have all butterflies and fireworks for every show. But one of the things that really stood out to me it's just the consistency. So consistently doing the same thing every Wednesday does help me to get better at what I'm doing, and helps me to perfect my presentations, and makes it a lot easier for my customers, because they're used to just my style. And I'm very playful. Like, this is my background every show. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, and you earn 35% commission. So y'all can do the math and figure that
40.
out. 40. Sorry, 40? I meant to say 40. I don't know why I said 40. Yeah, 35 is not really a thing. So 40%. That's so amazing. But your why right now is a pretty good one. So why don't you tell us why you're working so hard?
Yes, I am working so hard because I want to go to Kona. I have never earned a trip with Park Lane back in 2010. Those 4 years that I was with Park Lane, I never went after it. I never set my mind to it. I just said, oh, so unattainable. It's just not something that I could do. I just want the free jewelry. This year, I have a different mindset. I have a mindset that I want to go on these free trips, all inclusive, all paid. And even more so when I heard it was to Kona, because I went to Kona on my honeymoon, and it's expensive. Really, really expensive. So, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I told my husband I would never go back to Kona unless it was free. And these are exact words what I told him. I would never go back to Hawaii unless it was free, because it's just really way too expensive. And that was 8 years ago. So I'm really just working towards that. And I'm like halfway there.
At least
So,
for two.
yeah, for two.
Yeah,
Yes.
not just for one. You're gonna earn one
I'm
probably.
not leaving the hubby behind. We're going together.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible, and you're totally doing it. And all it was a mindset shift and organized effort. Really,
Yeah.
right? It's just amazing because people think they don't have the time. It's not really the time. That's not really the issue. It's just the will, right? Because look at you. I mean, if anyone can do it, if you can do it, anyone can. I mean, that's the main thing. Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to hear like, what's your goal for the next 12 months? What would make you so happy? And what are you seeing from all the leaders that you're like, I want to do that? Because I know you're very good at seeing something and being inspired by it. So what has kind of lit your fire beyond even Hawaii?
For me, it's sharing the opportunity. I feel that, and I've done this in my own VIP page group. And one of the things is I feel like I have a true community in my VIP page group. And from when I started last year, I never took selfies of myself or a selfie. I never really liked the way that I wasn't really confident. I didn't really have that, boost of energy to put on jewelry, put on makeup, and just do something for myself. My kids and my husband took up a lot of my time in a good way, right? But going through pandemic has really showed me that mental health is very serious and I have to take care of myself. And in my VIP page group, I hear it from my ladies of how they're really stepping outside of their comfort zone, how they're putting on just a little bit of sparkle each day, and how they're taking selfies now and putting them in the group. Where before they would just take pictures of the jewelry. Now they're actually taking pictures of themselves and saying like, Jeannette, I feel beautiful. I feel good about myself. And I love sharing that. I love hearing that. So empowering other women to find the opportunity, if it's jewelry that you really are infatuated with, or that you really want to make yourself feel good and others feel good. Growing my team is really something that I want to work on because I want to empower other women to feel really good about themselves and to empower more women beyond them. So
yeah, it's definitely a chain reaction. I mean, we say it's joy, but it's so much more than that. It's so life-changing, right? When you can have this kind of extra income and you can feel beautiful and frankly have fun. We just need to all have a little more fun. So I have no doubt that big things are in your future, and I adore you. I'm so proud of you, and thank you for being part of this team, and thank you for sharing your story.
Well, thank you for your leadership, because that means the world to me too. Is back in 2010, I had good leadership, but we didn't have all of the resources that we have now, which is so different, which has made this opportunity so much easier for me and my family. Everything's at my fingertips, which is really helpful.
It's inspiring. Anyone can do this. So, all right, my friend, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Angeline.
Bye.
Bye.